When I was 37 years old in 2010, I was just being diagnosed with it was the third cancer scare and the second real cancer. I was getting ready to have a double mastectomy for breast cancer, and a friend called and said, hey, do you know they're taking names? There's a group that wants to know how many people got sick around here. And I thought, I thought probably what a lot of people think, cancer cluster investigations always end up nowhere. You have very little chance. There's no protocol, there's no order to it, and it's against the government this time, good luck. And I'm too busy. And then you start going through the daily process of, of actually being sick. And you're like, you know what, if I can keep one person from going through this, it's worth it. So I got involved.
I'm Angie Piper, and I lost my sister in 2008, and then my mom got sick a year and a half later in 2010. She died later that year, which prompted us to start researching Fort Detrick.
And I'm Randy White, and I lost my daughter, Kristen, and her mother, Debbie. Both got sick from Fort Detrick. I emphatically believe that. Through our research, our scientists that we've hired, I know without a doubt it was Fort Detrick that actually killed them.
I've had 14 members come down with this rare erythroid leukemia, but the other members of the Rice family have died of cancer of one form or another. So in my way of thinking, if you're part of our Rice clan, you're going to die with cancer. It's no question, because all the others have.
So in the 50s, my cousins, my brothers, we played in the area. Just like at 10 years old, you were outside.
Area B.
Area B. We had tree forts in the woods right next to it. And we played in the creeks. We dammed up the creeks and played in them. And this was Carroll Creek. I mean, it got later on, they would drop whatever it was, I don't know, things from the helicopters in Grid Area B. At least on 2 occasions, we got hit. I can't remember what it was, but we were there. I mean, it blew on us. I think it was some sort of liquid, but in that area, it was where they mainly sought to hit was just dirt and rock. I mean, there was no vegetation at all. It was just dirt and rock.
There's about 18 people in our family that bordered Area B, that grew up and lived there, and 13 either have died or have cases of cancer. And that's a pretty good higher percentage than the national average, I'd have to say.
But the only thing I can state about the neighbors or the neighborhood is there's a whole lot of people that died from cancer. That families will have a high cancer rate. You know, and I don't know what the cause was. It's just, it seems like a really strange coincidence. And when you go a quarter of a mile on a road and every house on both sides of the road, at least one of the members died of cancer. And that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That seems like more than just a coincidence.
It's just unfair for my neighbors to suffer like this. It's ruined their lives, it's ruined their families, it's ruined everything. Took all their money they had saved to retire, and they couldn't retire, and they died, you know? And it's a real tragedy. But we go out there, that guy shot in the movies, they killed 12 people, but Fort Detrick killed 1,500. And nobody wants to even talk about this. And right on our nose, we've seen this happen. And I'm very upset by it, I really am. Especially losing my wife, a wonderful wife, and I really miss her, but I can't bring her back.
When I was mayor, I got a call one day from a resident on Montague Lane, which connects to Shookstown Road, which borders the southern portion, I guess it is, of Fort Detrick, and Area B, which is 400 acres of where they buried stuff. The phone call I got was from a woman who I knew who lived near the intersection of Shuckstown Road and was getting an odor out of her well that she had never found before. Once I heard the report back from the city people, called the commander Detrick and said, perhaps you have a problem because the house backs right up to it. And we had a long conversation about whose responsibility it should be. And I said, well, you know, you're the neighbor. You have some things out here that might have gotten into her well, and you need to do something. The difficulty is that when they finally were convinced themselves they had a problem was 20 years later, and by that time much of the problem disappeared or spread someplace else.